Actually, it's kind of a one-lane facility when you get east of the bridge, but it's one lane and then one lane drops at Union. But it's designed such that it could be widened to 2 lanes in the future, is my understanding.
And does anybody remember even ballpark what making that bridge 4-lane would cost?
40 million is my understanding.
We have people in the audience who have brought information to us about, in opposition to the roundabout. Now, the mayor did make a comment last council meeting that at the very least, we need to keep a plan in place, whether it ever materializes or not. But if we take it off of the plate, those funding mechanisms are gone. Is that a correct statement?
It would be a lot more difficult to seek grant funding if it's not on your TIP and in your local plans. If it was removed from the regional transportation plan, you in essence kill the option.
So whether we leave it in place in the plan as a roundabout or it materializes in 25 years into a full-blown interchange, at least we're still out in front, we're on the plate.
You would have some options.
Okay.
Either proceed, as it is now, you would be able to proceed with the roundabout or the interchange option. If you remove it, again, if you remove it from your TIP, it does not stop you proceeding on going. It just kind of removes the city's support a little bit, which would make it a little bit more difficult. It doesn't kill the project.
If you remove the roundabout, the interim solution, how does it affect the long-term solution that the state has recommended, the interchanges?
The only impact would be that you would not have an interim solution, so you're stuck until the state can figure out how to fund the long-term solution.
Okay. So it doesn't affect the long-term solution at all?
No, the long-term solution is there no matter what.
Thank you.
But he said in 5 years, we could have a roundabout and make it safety improvements, or we can wait 25 years and finally end up with the overpass.
Maybe.
You want a roundabout, and if you consider that a safety improvement.
Well-
Those-
Well, but the reality is that barring congressional intervention, the West Bridge is going to suck up all of the funding that is imaginable in the SR 14 corridor through all of our lifetimes.
I'd like to think I'm younger than that, but. I'm sorry.
You're right, though, there's no money out there. Limited amount of money, to say the least.
Yeah.
I have to say that I'm very much against the SR 14 roundabouts. I would like to see WSHU will take it off of their transportation plan. And I don't think we should be settling for the less expensive option just because we need something. I see that as giving the state an excuse to push out our interchange plan if they see that we have already spent, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars on these roundabouts. If they suddenly find the money in 10 to 15 years, they're not going to want to tear it out.
I would say most likely the only way it would delay the full interchanges would be that if the roundabouts were constructed and work so good that you don't need the interchanges. That would be the only way that it would be removed from the plans. I think, barring that they really solved the problem, which, you can show on paper that they'll make it a positive impact, but until you build them, you never fully know. I mean, you can do a lot of engineering estimates, but reality sometimes is different.
Well, I know you're not from the state, but it is curious to me why they stopped this project at 6th Street.
Why did they what?
Why they stopped this project at
Funding.
6th Street.
That was really it. This got funding through Nickel and Partnership, which was the last gas taxes that the state raised, and the legislature basically earmarked for money to projects, and they gave $58 million to that project. So DOT designed a project within the $58 million budget.
But they
They
didn't
went-
carry it all the
originally they
way
were gonna stop
through
it at
the
Second.
corridor, though. That's the issue. I mean, they're moving the problem, basically, from Camas to Washougal. But that's what they're doing.
Well, frankly, it just is what it is, you know, and although I say this reluctantly, I would be willing to pull the roundabout portion off of our Washougal TIP, because I just don't feel like we have the commitment currently to pursue that. And while I think that that would push out a permanent solution, maybe within Dale's lifetime, probably not mine, but that's the status. I think that's the only,
The city could pursue removing it from the regional plan if that's the direction you want. We can pull up the old studies and show you what the numbers are on the operations. I'm not exactly sure whether that study is, but I know I saw it at one time.
Personally, I'm not one way or the other on the roundabout on 14, to be quite honest with you. Take it or leave it for as far as I'm concerned. My focus and my concern is on the 27th interchange. I would love to get on-off ramps right there at 27th. I'd like to, it'd help out the port, it would help out our economic development in that area, and it would help with future connectivity to the rest of the city. To me, that's a higher priority than what we do at Washougal River Road. And I know that one thing has to come before another, and, you know, as we go down the highway, you've got to fix one and then get to the other, but, you know, just personally, that's where my thinking is, because that that underpass is already there. We just need the on-off ramps and the corrections to the roadway to make it happen. So, that's my feeling on it. The roundabout, it gives me heartburn to think how much money we invested on the plans for that roundabout and the beautiful artwork that they brought together for it. But to be quite honest with you, my focus is more on 27th than it is Washougal River Road. I could pull it out, stay with it, I don't care. Either way.
By taking it off our plan, I don't want to hurt our chances of any funding to enhance what you just said. That bothers me, taking it off of our plan, and then potentially losing any funding that would happen at 27th or out further.
One possibility might be, I'm not sure what kind of specificity exists on our own tip around this specific project, but as was mentioned with the Metro plan, it talks about add lanes and construct interchanges. It's got that long look. If having it on our local plan enhances our advocacy for whatever it is that we pursue in other grant arenas, beyond this regional context, we may not have to be absolutely specific in terms of what's on our plan. And as we go out and seek grants, we can kind of sharpen our pencil as we look for it. I was going to ask, and maybe I'm a little slow on the uptake this afternoon, but if I understand correctly, your sense is that the implication of removal of what our document says, I think I have it here, Trevor, it lists the
They're all
it's
conglomerated together.
It's not specific.
Right, so there's a phase one or interim solution with highway roundabouts at River Road and 32nd with the full-blown interchange. We had identified 27th Street with the underpass as well as a flyover from Main Street to E Street to have a second bridge across the railroad tracks. That's with the full-blown interchange. And that was identified in our 2005 capital facility plan update with Parsons Brinkerhoff. But that flyover